Welcome back. The backlog in DNA results is delaying justice for many South Africans. Some people have even lost hope in the law enforcement and justice system. But the families of two young women who were victims of rape in the Northern Cape in 2017 and 2019 have finally received justice. The rapist has been sentenced to life imprisonment. He was linked to these rape cases through DNA results. Now, the Northern Cape Police Management, for its part, has welcomed the life sentence. Well, to discuss this issue of the importance of DNA and the backlogs, I'm joined now by Elanie from Action Society. Elanie, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View. Thank you very much for your time. When I saw this statement by the Northern Cape Police Management welcoming this life sentence in this particular rape case of these two young women, I mean, they were raped way back in 2017 and 2019. And thankfully, DNA results in 2019 helped the police to find the perpetrator. He's now been sentenced to life, which we all welcome. But thousands of other victims of GBV and rape are still waiting for justice.
That's true, Dan. You know what? And thanks for having us. And they've been waiting for way too long. Since June 2020, when the PCM system was switched off due to Bekkitele's failure to actually complete the contract and do payments, the backlog has just increased daily. You can just think for yourself, with 3,000 women, just rape cases being, reported daily, how that backlog is increasing. Currently, the recent figure, as we've got it, is 300,000 cases. And in each of these cases, you must remember there's anything between 1 and 12 samples of evidence. So if you work on an average of 4 samples, it's over 1.2 million pieces of evidence that needs to be analyzed in order to be submitted as evidence into the courts. And due to the DNA backlog, people are going to be waiting for at least 3 years to get their day in court. That's if they get their day in court. Because what happens a lot of times is cases are struck off the roll and perpetrators walk free because there's no DNA evidence to link them to these cases.
Yeah, I mean, when I read the statement by the police, I thought the police themselves are to blame for the backlog in terms of what you have just said. Yet in the Northern Cape, they are welcoming me. This is a 32-year-old man who was accused of raping the two female victims. They were age 16 and 18 at the time, way back in 2017 and 2019. And without this DNA results, likely this perpetrator would not have been found guilty and sentenced to life. So what your organization, I mean, is championing the whole issue around dealing with DNA backlogs and stuff. The Minister of Police last month, Bekkitele, visited some of the forensic investigation facilities of the police, and yet the delay continues. What more can be done in your view?
Well, Dan, we're actually busy finalizing a public protector complaint as well against the President, the Minister of Police, and then the DNA Oversight Board, because we just feel it's completely unacceptable that they're not resolving this crisis. They've started making some progress and eventually agreed to public-private partnerships, which should have launched on the 1st of October. But on their latest portfolio committee meeting, the figures were distorted and there was no real indication of any progress. Even the presentation that the ministry gave, it was so vague that no one really knows what the real situation is. We've heard that they're sorting out their procurement issues and that they're making use of the 2 private labs specifically for the backlog. But even with those labs handling the backlog, it's so large that it's going to take until November 2022 to sort out. So that gives you at least another year for people to get their day in court. And every time victims of GBV, victims of rape, murder victims' families are subjected to court proceedings, are subjected to seeing those perpetrators are getting bail and very likely reoffending in the time that they're on bail, because these are very violent criminals. And we just feel the Minister of Police, Bekkitele, is completely failing victims of violent crime, especially GBV in our country. They're paying lip service, but there's nothing being done on the ground to actively sort out this problem.
So you're saying you are now officially going to file a complaint with the public protector against the police minister?
Yes, against the police minister and everybody involved in allowing this DNA backlog to carry on for so long, in allowing this miscarriage of justice happening. In a country where GBV is a pandemic, DNA is the most effective crime-fighting tool. They've got all the facilities, they've got everything to sort this out. They've got the budget. They've talked about the budget how many times? Yet they're just failing to take action and start sorting this out. So we feel that the public and South African citizens, and especially victims of crime, need to get answers, and they need to get action from government. So we are going ahead with a complaint at the Public Protector.
Thank you very much, Elanie van der Walt from Action Society, an NGO that champions the cause of the fight against the gender-based violence. And now, she just told us here, you heard it first here on eNCA, they will be filing an official complaint shortly at the Public Protector against Police Minister Bheki Cele for the ongoing backlog in terms of DNA results in criminal cases that are failing and delaying justice for thousands of women who are victims of rape.